What's up, guys? Obviously I'm not here today, but you're still going to do work. Okay, I need you to behave. If not, the names that the sub leaves me, I'm gonna have you come after school on Thursday for teacher detention, and you're gonna be cleaning up my room, sweeping my floors, wiping my boards. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you don't want to come spend some time with me, so please make sure you behave. All right, this is your warm-up, so go ahead and take out your gold sheet, and I believe we're on box either 5 or 6, so go ahead and do this on 5 and 6. Okay, you should have already done this, so I'm gonna go over it with you. So we want to graph the following equations and write the coordinates x, y for the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So basically we want to write the x-intercept and the y-intercept for each one of these questions. So, and you should be writing it in coordinate form, right? X, y. So I'm gonna make the blue the x-intercept for number 1, number 2, and number 3, and then the y-intercept is gonna be in red for number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay, so let's graph number 1. So it's y equals negative 3x plus 3. So go ahead and pause this and open up Desmos real quick. Okay, so if I open up Desmos, I'm going to type y equals negative 3x plus 3. Okay, so remember, my y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, so the y-intercept is 0, 3, and the x-intercept is 1, 0. So the x-intercept is 1, 0, and the y-intercept is 0, 3. All right, let's check this next one. 1/2 x minus 4. So remember that 1/2 is 1 divided by 2. And then don't forget, don't get stuck on the bottom. You want to go off to the side and write x. And I already forgot what the equation is, minus 4. Okay, so 1/2 x minus 4, here's my graph. So my x-intercept is right here, and that's 8, 0. My y-intercept is right here, and that's 0, negative 4. 8, 0 is my x, 0, negative 4 is my y. So 8, 0, and 0, negative 4. Okay, and then my last one, 6 minus 3x. Go back to Desmos. Y equals 6 minus 3x. Okay, so here's your graph. So your x-intercept is right here, and that's 2, 0. Y-intercept 0, 6. So 2, 0 and 0, 6. So x-intercept is 2, 0, and the y-intercept is 0, 6. Okay, that's your warm-up. All right, go ahead and put that up. Okay, so today we're going to go over function notation, and you've kind of seen it a little bit here and there, but let's go, we're going to dive deep into it. Okay, so today I have on Schoology, where is it at? It's down here. Okay, on Schoology, if you go to courses, and then you go to my course, Algebra 1. Okay, I made a folder, and it should be the very first folder, October 5th, that's today's date. Go ahead and click on that. Okay, function notation video, this is where this video is at, obviously. And then the worksheet. Okay, once you're done with the worksheet, you're going to put in all of your answers here. Okay, if you don't put in your answers, you're not going to get a grade. Okay, so you have to put your answers here. Okay, again, you have to put your answers here. If you don't put your answers there, you're not going to get a grade. Okay, so let's look at what we have today. So function notation, equations, they're written in function notation. So this right here is an equation, right? But in order for it to be a function, we have to write it in function notation. And so the way you do that is you write the f parentheses x equals, and then you write the same thing out here. So 2x minus 8, right? And so x is our input, f of x is our output. Okay? And so you read this as f of x. So right here you're going to write f of x. Okay? So you read it f of x equals and then 2 times x minus 8. Alright, so that's how it's read. So the way it works is we have, well, to evaluate a function for a specific value, you substitute the value in for x, right? So here we have this function on number 1, we have f of x equals x plus 7, right? Well, in order to find out what f of 5 is, in here in the parentheses I have x, right? And over here I have x. Well, whenever you put a 5 here, that means it's going to be 5 plus 7, right? I changed the x to 5, so I have to change this x to 5 as well. Okay? 5 plus 7 would give me 12. Okay? So a quick way to do this is on Desmos, right? On Desmos, I can write f of x equals x plus 7. Let me close this. So I can write, where's this f at? Right here. F of x equals x plus 7. Right? So this is my line. And you can evaluate it on the next line. All you have to put is f parentheses of 5. And here it gives you that it equals 12, right? So if we go back to the worksheet, now they want to know what f of negative 1 is. So same thing, you just change the x to whatever's inside the parentheses. So negative 1 plus 7. Negative 1 plus 7 is 6. And you can check your answer here. So f of negative 1, so I type f of negative 1, and I get 6 right here. F of negative 1 is 6. Okay, so let's do the last one. F of negative 3, same thing. You replace x with negative 3, so you do that on this side as well. So negative 3 plus 7, that's going to give me 4. So you can come down here to Desmos, f of negative 3, and it gives me 4. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward, right? Especially if you use Desmos. All you have to do is type this in, and then you type these in separately. Okay, so let's go down to number 6. I'm going to go ahead and do number 6 for you as well. Okay, so this is a quadratic function. So the way you type those into Desmos, let me delete all of these. So I have f of x equals, I believe that's what it is. Okay, yeah, f of x. So negative x squared. So the way you type it is minus x. And then you're going to use this a squared button right here. So minus x squared. You see, and it turns it into x squared up here. Okay? So the rest of the equation is plus 6x minus 4. The rest of it looks like what we've been dealing with, minus 4. Okay? So that's your equation. Okay, and they want to know what f of negative 3 is. So let's type that in. F of negative 3. Okay, and I get, ooh, that's hard to see on my screen. Negative 7. So that should be negative 7. So that is going to equal -7. F of, and here you can just change it, right? The only thing that's changing is the inside. So -1, so that's going to be 1. And then f of 5. And I believe that is -23. Okay, so this is going to be equals -23. Okay, so that's how you're going to do the front page, right? You're going to do the same thing for 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? I already did 1 and 6 for you. Okay, so now look at the back. Okay, so given the function y equals -4/5x minus 2, and the domain, so remember, domain, right? Redox. Redox. What does that mean? That means domain is your x, and your range is your y. Okay, so what is the range of the function? Okay, so basically they want to know, they're giving us x, right? The domain x. What is y? So they're giving us x, which is this right here, and they want to know what y is. So you have your function, so y equals, and what I'm going to do, just to make it look prettier, I'm going to write it as a function, f of x equals -4/5x minus 2. Whoa. Let me fix that. Okay. So you're going to go to Desmos, and you're going to type that in. Y equals, I forgot it, -4/5. Yeah. -4 divided by 5. Go off to the side. X minus 2. I said y, f of, and I put y. What a loser. Okay, so f and then x, right? And so I want to know what the y's are, which are the outputs when I have -5, 0, and 1. So I have f of -5, f of 0, and then f of -1. Okay, so I have 2, -2, and -1.2. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my answer choices, and the y's are, so you can write f of -5 equals f of 0 equals, and f of 1 equals. So f of 0 is -2, f of -1, let's do -5, is 2, and -1.2. Okay. So let's look at my answer choices. So for sure they have to have 2 and -2. 2 and -2, that's good. 2 -6, I don't have -6, so B is incorrect. 2 and -2, that's good. And -6, I don't have -6. Okay, so now the differences between C and A is -2 and 4/5, and then +2 and 4/5. Well, negative 1.2, so it's negative, right? So this is positive, so that's incorrect. So my answer would be A. Okay, that's what you're going to do for the rest of these. For 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. See over here, they actually have it in function notation. Up here, you could be using it as y. It's up to you. Okay. So this should be pretty straightforward. Don't forget, you have to put your answers into Schoology, right? So just to remind you, you have to go to Schoology and put it right here, function notation worksheet. Okay? Other than that, y'all have a good weekend. I'm not going to get to see y'all on Monday, Tuesday. Don't show up. No one's going to be here. Wednesday, you have your SAT, PSAT testing. Make sure you know where you're going for that. And I'll see you all on Thursday, all right? Y'all have a good one.